Hello, Soul Family. I wanted to talk about today what happened on the day that I went to go see Abdi in November of 2013. It happened not so long ago, actually, maybe like 2.5 weeks ago. And Abdi was in New York, and so my partner and I decided to go and see Abdi. Never miss an opportunity. So it was during the day, and that day I felt Abdi. I always feel Abdi immediately, but that day I actually felt him in the elevator. So as soon as I got into the elevator, I started to feel the energy come to me. And so at first I thought I was nervous or anxious, but then I realized it's usually the energy comes to you in that kind of form when you seem like nervous or anxious or something's like kind of brewing inside of you, right? So it was already happening in the elevator. And as soon as I walked in, Abdi was sitting on the couch and I sat right next to him, and the energy kind of settled, which was really nice because it doesn't settle in me usually that quickly. So the session started, and Abdi started with me actually, and it's funny because he usually does. It just happens that way. I'm just like in the beginning of the room, and he doesn't. As soon as he just comes near me, I feel the energy come through me, and so I laid down, and all the energy started to kind of go fast. It was moving very fast, and it's like, whoa. It just like kind of took me aback, and which is quite normal. But it usually takes up like, it usually starts slowly and then kind of bubbles up. But this time it just, it was fast. And I was, moving with the energy. The energy kind of takes you, so wherever it needs to take you, so that you may need, whatever you need for that day, right? So at some point, I felt very blissful. Usually I go through all these feelings and emotions and crying, and it's going, because it's healing. It's a healing energy, and like I said before, it releases the impurities because the energy is pure, and it clashes when it comes up against something that's impure. So it released the impurities. This time it just seemed like there were none, which was a miracle. What? No impurities? But it was up here a lot, right? Because of my mind. Okay, now I feel like really this energy is healing my mind and my thoughts, and which is great. Thank you. So I felt the energy up there, and then it didn't take so long, but I was in a blissful state of mind. I was laughing so much. I just felt like everything was hilarious. I was laughing up a storm. It just wouldn't stop. And then I would hear these voices. I was listening to my higher self, and it was sending me lots of messages. So then, I was just listening. I just sat up, which is very rare. I normally don't do that. I sat up, sitting in a lotus position. Some of you call it Indian style. And I was sitting up and just kind of listening. And lots of downloads, and it was beautiful. It was just very peaceful, and I can feel it now, actually. And then I heard a voice saying, get up, get up. It's time for you to heal now. And I heard that voice and I was like, oh, that's my mind. Why would I do that? And 5 minutes later, Abdi comes up to me and goes, Val, get up and start healing people. And I was like, oh. And I started to tell him, like, oh, I heard. And he goes, shh, just go. And I was like, okay. And so I'm walking, and he's telling me just to walk with my arms out like this. And I'm walking, and the energy was thick as cream. I couldn't even move. At first I was just like, whoa. And the energy was so thick that I would like lift my foot up like, oof, like, and then lift the other foot. Like, that's how thick it was. And at first, I started to feel everybody's energy. I started to feel everybody's pain. So I was crying. I was like, oh my God. And I was absorbing, and this didn't feel good. And I was thinking, man, how could Abdi do this? It doesn't feel good. I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. And then I said, no. Transform this. And I created a bubble around me. And I expanded my energy. And I said, no, I'm going to give love. And I'm going to give all my love to these people. And all of a sudden, it just became beautiful. And still the energy is very thick. And so I was moving like as if, picture like you're walking through, 6 feet of snow. You could only, up to your neck, whatever it is, up to your neck. And you're trying to move through the snow. And that's how thick it is. That's how thick the energy was. And I was feeling very humbled and grateful. And every time I would feel someone that needed the energy more, I surrendered. I surrendered to the energy. I surrendered to myself. I surrendered to the divine. I was grateful. I was saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the energy was becoming more powerful. And I just felt like I was wowed. I was really wowed. There were points that I would just sit down and stay with it and say, and I was just, wow, this is amazing. It's a miracle. I can't believe this. The mind kind of kicks in and wants to take control. But when I was flowing, it was amazing. And, every time you go see Abdi, you have more of a healing experience. And that is the most beautiful thing about it all. You can't just go see him once. You have to keep going. You have to go back. He is a blessing to humanity, and you need to see him and see what he is all about. Not with your mind, but with your heart. And go there with no expectations. And don't judge anything. Whatever is happening, let it happen. Just flow. Flow with the energy. Flow with whatever is happening, and you will receive the blessings. I hope you have a good day. I love you all.